All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Space Dandy, Season 2, Episode 11. Last episode was wonderful. We got all that focus with Scarlet and everything. Even though, because Space Dandy is, well, multiverse and all that stuff, status quo must be reestablished. Yes. They did not end up actually confessing their feelings to each other. Yeah. It's sad, but, you know, it is the way things are.
Yeah, just go with the flow, man.
Yep, that's right. It's the dandy way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What I would like to see in this next episode is something to do with Dr. Gel.
Yes.
Because Dr. Gel is kind of the soul of the episodic, you know,
indeed,
kind of formula.
Yes, with the top hat and the cane and everything. And quite frankly, just about every other character has gotten a decent amount of focus. You know, we even got the Scarlet episode, so like Dr. Gel is kind of the other one that needs to be addressed. It'd be great.
That is true.
Please give it to me.
But yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Whoa. Feels very Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Like sadness, a drink.
Dandy.
Muted.
Tell me, have you figured out the secret of warping yet?
I don't know what you mean, babe. Like, how to do it without losing your hair?
Can't you be serious about something for once? If you want to know, I'd be happy to tell you.
One untouched drink and one empty drink. Whoa.
That was fast.
Thanks, but no thanks, baby. Secrets are more fun when you find them out for yourself.
Dandy does look a little bit different this episode. His pompadour is less prominent.
I've done a lot of thinking, and I've made my decision.
You want to be with Paul. Hey, Catherine. So does this mean...
What?
We're done. The drinks. Yeah, they're both done. Yeah.
Nothing. It doesn't matter.
Wow. What is this subtle little visual storytelling here?
Is this Dandy backstory? Is that like before the pompadour?
I think so, yeah.
In that case, I take back what I said. What we needed was Dandy backstory. Although I'd still love Gel backstory.
Yes,
or
yes.
Focus, you know. Oh.
Warp complete, sir.
Our instruments are picking up a spatial distortion that's producing an enormous amount of energy.
A breakup.
There doesn't appear to be anything unusual here.
Dandy's
Yes, but
broken
one might
heart.
say that is what's unusual, Doctor.
Is that your convoluted way of implying Dandy might be to blame?
Can't say yet. At this point, there's only one thing I know for certain.
We're getting super high energy readings just off the planet. I think something's about to warp, sir. Its mass and energy are both beyond measurement.
Whoa. Wait, what?
Its length is unknown.
What? Hold on. It's a map?
No way. It can't be. Another universe? Then get us out of here now!
There's no time!
They're gonna be made 2D within a 2D show. I love it.
And then we see some 2D girls, you know.
Yeah.
I wonder
Two
if
2D girls.
Really as bad for you as they say it is.
And then it just, yep.
Wow.
The sound effects. I live for the sound effects. Let's go full Galaga, yes.
Yeah, exactly. That would be wonderful.
Let me guess, you've got a bug up your nose because we've been warping so much. It's either that or you've got a bug up your butt.
You should be
His
excited.
pompadour does look
I bet you
deflated.
that universe is full of rare aliens.
I don't know about that, but it's definitely full of bad memories.
Oh.
You've been there before?
Paul, you bastard.
Wait.
All right.
Paul is a universe?
Or the person piloting the universe or
Sure.
something?
Dandy.
Yeah, I thought it was you. Hello, Catherine.
Huh?
Who are you talking to, Dandy?
Some kind of invisible alien?
I can't believe you'd be so cold after all this time.
Whoa, what kind of alien is that?
How many years has it been, Catherine?
You know I can't answer that. We fourth dimensionals live in a different time than you, so it's impossible for me to say.
All right.
Whoa.
I
Cool.
remember now.
Warp complete, sir.
Yes.
And what is our position now?
We are inside the 2D universe.
You're pathetic. I have to be completely honest with you. Sometimes your idiocy amazes me. The 2D universe was able to warp into ours, so there must be a way to move between them.
Good to hear, but we better
Sure,
move quickly.
but it doesn't mean you have the power to do it.
I
Right.
can't explain it.
Oh wow! That's
Okay.
so cool! I can't believe the two of you
So-
were an item back in the day. So tell
So
me,
it's
what was
looking
it
for
like being
Paul.
Dandy's
Paul is
girlfriend,
looking
Miss
for
Catherine?
Catherine,
Such
basically.
a cute
Probably.
and spunky young lady, isn't she?
Hey man, shoot straight with me. What do you think of that Catherine broad? Do you think she's hot?
Honestly, she just looks like a box to me.
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one.
Dandy was the guy we're fighting over you. That's so romantic. I want to hear all about it.
We realized that the worlds we lived in were simply too different.
Mismatched
Yeah.
personalities, huh?
Sounds more like mismatched dimensions.
Yeah, exactly.
Star-crossed
happened with him?
lovers.
For old time's sake, I want you to send Paul and his universe back to where they belong. He can't go on disturbing the cosmos like this.
Multiple ships of unknown origin ahead.
It appears they have a defense fleet ready to attack.
I suspect that fleet is defending the drive which allows their universe to
Oh my
warp.
god.
If that's
Wow.
true, sir, then we can go back home if we destroy it, right?
They'll be the heroes.
Yeah. It's gonna be like that arcade with the dragging laser and everything.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you can be so calm about it.
Don't you know that the happiest moments in a scientist's life are when they come face to face with the unknown?
Yes.
Spend our entire lives searching
Yes.
for it. Why worry about my fate and ruin such a joyous occasion?
Ah, how inspirational.
I love it.
We can't do much to camouflage ourselves. We're two-dimensional.
Yep, yep.
The same can be said of our enemy. At this point, all we can do is continue to press on towards their warp drive.
Oh my god.
Yes.
This is amazing. This is such a cool idea.
So she's a woman from his past.
It looks like some kind of futuristic box.
Jeez, I thought cats and robots were supposed to be smart, but you guys don't have a clue.
Are you a stowaway?
Yeah, I want to meet that Paul guy. He might be my prince.
Oh my
Why
god.
just marry aliens when you can just marry royalty?
You and I are on two completely different planes.
Yeah,
But
I
if you
knew.
join
What
me.
happened in the past. But you don't, do you?
No.
I don't. Ah, this is so cool to see Dandy like this in like a painful way. Like
Yeah.
just being like, bro, like, wow.
Meanwhile, Dr. Gel is living his best life.
It appears to be a defensive maneuver.
We'll execute
The route
maneuvers.
starts to get narrow up ahead.
Oh my
We'll be making
god.
contact with the enemy's defensive line soon.
Oh my god.
Yes! Yes!
This is beautiful.
Catherine here knows where to find him.
That's the 4D stuff
Since
coming
it's in
into
a
play
2D
here.
Universe, his forces won't be able to attack us while we're on the
Nope.
outside.
Nope.
So it should be pretty easy for us to get in.
We use the
Paul knows
Z-axis.
this too, which is why he's already begun rolling up the fabric of his universe.
Oh.
Ah.
Okay.
Screw that psycho stalker. He's just making this tough because it's me.
We could just take our drill and just, you know, pierce
Pierce
the
through,
universe.
yeah.
2D universe. The ceilings are low and it's hard to fight.
Why don't we just poke right through?
That's it!
Like, yeah.
You know, folding space?
Right, yeah.
Maybe that's the secret of warping.
Okay, so instead of drill, we'll use scissors. Okay. Sounds
Scissor
good.
the X. Alright.
Yep. And snippy, snip,
It's about
snip.
to get narrow. Looks like it's now or never, Dandy.
All right, let's do this, baby.
Yeah.
Cut through!
Wow.
Oh yeah, we're going full Gurren Lagann. Yeah, let's
Yep.
do this.
A powerful shockwave is approaching.
Just what do you mean by shockwave?
Look, it's creating a fissure in space, sir.
Damn it, I was doing so good.
Hey, QT, zoom in on that big square.
Give me a second. You mean right here?
Paul.
He's just a rectangle with a crown?
Yeah, he's a two-dimensional. What'd you expect?
I thought that he was my Prince Charming, but I can't marry a rectangle.
Wow, you can't see everything from up here.
Two-dimensionals don't even realize they're visible like this. Can't quite get their heads around the idea.
Makes sense.
My beloved Catherine, I'm willing to renounce my claim to the throne and leave this universe behind to be with you!
Well, okay.
Catherine?
Probably just interference from a TV soap opera. All weapons fire!
Wow. Oh my god.
That was a direct hit.
Uh-oh.
It can't be. Is that a 1D universe?
A massive object is headed toward the ship.
As if going 2D wasn't bad enough, now we're going 1D!
Oh, crap. Oh, this is
Whoa,
bad.
did it self-destruct on its own?
So now that it's been 10 years, why don't you tell me? Have you figured out the secret of warping yet?
The secret is warping doesn't exist.
That's right.
We travel through the space between universes, and for some strange reason we decided to call it warping. Suppose that there's a world in this universe,
Whoa.
a similar world in another one, and both have the same stuffed animal lying around. Here's where it gets tricky. At some point the stuffed animal here will sense, this is me. Do you get what I'm saying? And the next moment the stuffed animal there will sense, this is me.
True, but you forgot to mention that you can't sense the switching between universes.
Ain't that the truth? I guess it's different for you, huh?
Whoa.
Yes, it is. From my perspective, Dandy before warping and Dandy after warping are two completely different people. Which means you're not the Dandy I fell in love with.
Right.
Even though you're still the same Catherine that I fell in love with.
But I still remember
You
you.
knew that, and you helped me anyway.
So
Dang.
about Paul.
There's no need to
Paul.
worry. He's alive still.
That's not what I'm talking about, Catherine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see. You want to know why I chose Paul. You were able to figure out the secret of warping all by yourself, Dandy. On the other hand, I knew that Paul would be lost without me.
Oh. That hurts. Here's our 1D universe.
Doctor, I'm picking up a high energy reading dead ahead. We're not
Yes.
going to be able to avoid it.
Another energy anomaly?
A zero-dimensional universe.
The universe warping out, sir.
What? 0 dimensions?
Wow. Oh my god.
Did we
that
just
was
say
great.
goodbye forever to Dr.
No, just in this universe.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Hence,
Thank you.
that's the whole secret of warping, you know?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Secret of warping. The secret of an episodic show.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you figured out the plot device that we use to make this show have any kind of semblance of reality, you know?
So it's just, I was from an episode that you guys in the third dimensional universe never saw.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Or in our third dimensional universe.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. That's so fun as a way to just kind of be like, hey, yeah. It's all still dandy, baby.
Yeah, just the right amount of trippy.
Right.
And and bullshit.
Yeah.
All wrapped up in this wonderful package.
Yeah. All right, this is a really creative, fun way to have the episode just basically say, hey, here's how the show works.
Right. Yeah.
And yes, we actually thought about this a little bit. So
have
fun with this in the midst of an episode about 1 to 4 dimensions getting traversed.
0 to 4 dimensions.
Oh, that's right. 0 to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't traverse the zero dimension with Dandy, but
right, exactly.
Dandy came very close to traversing the one-dimensional universe. Yeah.
And I love that is basically using a universe of just 1 dimension shorter as like a power source, because you know a universe is infinite within the bounds of itself, right? You know that's the whole point, right? So maybe not, but
no. In some ways, what we can know a little bit just based on science and stuff is that the universe is expanding in correlation with our rate of perception. So there is no way to prove that the universe is, I believe, I'm not sure, to prove whether or not the universe is finite or infinite.
Well, and the formula for how you divide a dimension is an infinite amount of the one lower dimension.
Exactly.
So divide a 3-dimensional space with a plane, right? You know, that just goes.
But the thing is
that way,
right? But
divide a plane with a line and a line with a dot,
right? But the thing is that if you assume any amount of space to be translatable, all the way up and down universes and stuff, that means that if one ever expandingly goes out along one axis, then the size of the other universe has to be able to contain said ever expandingly infinite axis, meaning that all of space is on some axis infinite.
What I love about this is that this is one episode.
Right, yes.
Towards the end of the show.
Yes.
And odds are, it was made by, not made, because there were a bunch of people that worked on it, but the person who was like, all right, this is what the episode's going to be about, was one person that probably, I'm guessing, just was like, I'm going to retroactively explain all of this in a whole different way, in addition to the whole thing of the, the multiverse dimensional travel and everything.
Right. There are multiple people that work on the actual story for each episode, though.
But there's like,
it's more that they take turns having different directors, and that's what you're thinking of, I believe.
I'm pretty sure they do that for the writers too. I could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure that they have multiple writers on multiple different episodes. It might be there are certain episodes that have one writer, but I believe based on what we've been told that there are multiple writers on certain episodes.
Oh.
I mean, I might be wrong.
I always figured it was something where it was sort of like this is this person's, turn to sort of make a Dandy episode and, and do a thing with it.
Right, but I think what's something that I think was something we've been told a lot by the community is that while one person has the vision for what the episode is, and then they end up executing on that vision, they might more specifically be just the person at the top of the team of people that are working on the individual episode.
Oh, sure, yeah,
and thus the writers, the director, there's multiple people that could end up influencing the story in such a way to where it would be
definitely. Yeah. But at some point there was a person who decided that it was going to be this, right?
Right.
And that within all these other episodes that we've had and everything, with all the wacky adventures and fun that we've had, that they're like, because it's definitely possible that this was planned out from the beginning, that this was actually how it works and everything.
That's one of the things I think we'll probably end up finding out, just because it fits too well.
But I like to think that this was someone who was just looking at all the episodes and they were like, you know what? I've got a crazy idea.
Yeah, I like that.
I've got a crazy idea. And then they're like, yeah, no one's sort of, because I feel like
no one's
probably
owning the actual
exactly. No one's
responsibility
done this kind of thing yet, right? And that there's like almost
there are the first episodes of each season. They each correlate a lot to this.
Right. But because as far as what rules I'm sort of inferring from the stuff that we've seen is that have some reference to boobies in there if you can, make sure that it isn't directly tying into other episodes in ways that implies chronological progression, kind of,
right. And then there are things that have continuity,
right? But not
keeping chronological progression,
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I could just see that as being like this. Ooh, because there's only a few episodes left of Dandy, right? So it's like any crazy idea that these people would want to do, now is the time to do it. Now, exactly. Right. So I love it. Yeah. Especially since there have been so many wacky ideas that have already been done. I've gotten this sense of sort of escalation almost, where it's like, all right, someone did that. How do we one up that? How do we do one better?
It definitely feels like that.
Yeah.
And now this one, we have a fourth dimensional being that Dandy was in a relationship with, which I just love the idea of that, because on some level you look at this and you go, wow, that's actually kind of beautiful. The idea that a god, basically a transcendent being, would go down to lower dimensions, you could see that also as a little bit creepy, but you because of the power dynamics going on there. But you could also look at this and go, wait a minute, no, actually, maybe Dandy wooed a fourth dimensional being that was just visiting and looking around.
Sure.
And he saw something, beautiful. He saw something that was, unique. And, Dandy, the one who's probably tried to get into the pants of literally every, species of
even
whatever.
Things that don't have pants. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And yet there was something so sad about this episode in that it was like Dandy couldn't accept the memory of just being unable to connect beyond dimensions with this being here.
Right. It's that forlorn, lost love, kind of a thing that just fits the style of Dandy so well. But then there were also these things that, like, there were so many jokes in this episode that were just wonderful. I mean, it's Dandy, so of course there's going to be jokes, right? But like Dr. Gel playing Galaga, like, for real, that was amazing. And then like the whole comparison of like, and on the one hand with the dimensional stuff, I was taking it as like a joke, but then also as like serious at the same time, and in some ways that felt kind of fun, where it didn't work out between us because two dimensions of difference is too much, right? Because it'd be like a straight line for us, right?
Right.
But then there's the whole idea that by that logic, Dandy was essentially Catherine's 2D waifu or 2D husbando.
Right.
Because that's the same kind of equivalent difference, but except in this case it was
real.
It was real, and there was a way to bridge the gap between the dimensions so that they could be together for a time, even though it never worked out.
Well, that's the thing. I think that Dandy is just frustrated thinking about, why did you make this happen? Like you didn't have to do this. And yet now I have to live with the fact that I probably screwed this up just by being a lower dimensional being. Like, that's gotta suck. Imagine if, basically, Jacob, a four-dimensional being came to you and you guys had a relationship, and then she goes, it's not you, it's me. And you're like,
oh yeah,
wait, no, it has to be something me because I'm a three-dimensional being. And now you're like, oh, I have to go, I have to go fulfill someone else's needs because they won't be able to survive without me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be that would be so aggravating.
And then they go to someone a dimension below you. Yeah. No,
that would suck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
In some ways, there's this almost somber kind of tone to this, where Dandy as a character is almost getting a little bit, I don't know, not self-aware, but just kind of, I don't know. It feels like something where you were noting how like the pompadour seemed more deflated or something.
Yeah.
I think that was just the art style for this Dandy specifically. This Dandy. But I don't know. He seemed less Dandy than usual.
Right.
But I would say maybe what it is specifically is that Dandy, as he has always been, has been extremely present. And this is a being that traverses past, present, future as if it's nothing, four dimensions and stuff. So he's basically unable to be present, and thus she is the one being that has ever thrown him out of his Dandy way. And that probably means a lot to him in both the positive and the negative. So it was almost like the show was basically being like, have you figured out the secret of Dandy? Like the secret of warping, the whole thing like that. That's all just a code for the show itself and the main character. Have you figured him out yet?
Right.
I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of funny that Dandy and what he represents as a character is just whatever happens, happens, baby. It's just the way we just move with it. And this is the one time where he's mischaracterized in that regard, in that he's filled with regret, it seems. He's got
focusing on the past.
He's got so much focus on the past. He's aggravated. He's got all these stressful things about his body language and the way he talks and stuff. And it's like, dude, this means something to you. And yet you're almost you've almost like got this defeated look where it's like it doesn't matter what you do. You're trying to operate at a higher dimension that you're capable of.
Right. Well, the whole thing you said about him being present, right? And that's why it's sort of, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's so perfect, because then it's the very thing that is his strength of the dandy way.
Exactly.
Is something that causes a fundamental and not that was what actually caused them to not necessarily like work out, right?
Right.
You know, there was more to it, but or it was just something different.
Right.
That is definitely something that would make it hurt more.
Right.
Probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then her thing of, you figured it out all on your own. Of course he did. He's perfectly present. He's so perfectly present that the encounter of a, fourth dimensional being probably in the slightest bit instantly gave away what the answer was. Is that it has nothing to do with that at all. No, there is no warping or anything like that at all. Like, maybe even in some ways just being in, some kind of connection with her gave him some kind of perception or the ability to, this is just the other thing I find interesting, the ability to have memories regarding a relationship that he didn't have.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was kind of curious about. I was like, hold on a sec. If the before and after warping, different people and everything, and you have recollection of it because you're a fourth dimensional being, that's great. But Dandy seemed to not be surprised by that. He was like, yeah, of course.
Right.
Now, maybe that was just something that he deduced, right?
Right. It could be something that he has knowledge without experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it could be something that he would deduce also based on the thing of, well, actually, no, because
he still had memory of when they were together, which apparently was before the warp. So,
well, actually, to be fair, that happened before they went and then did a bunch of warping. That was the thing. So what I think it is also in the very beginning of the episode, they show the backstory, quote unquote.
All right.
Just their story together.
Right.
Then we cut to 2D waifus actually on a billboard, which is hilarious. But then we show Dandy, Cutie, and Meow talking about all that warping that really started to get on me there. And now Dandy is all jaded. Yeah, he's just not enjoying this. So at some point through that warping, he's probably still lightly connected to one of the beings that was him in the relationship with her. And because it was maybe just so close in time to that point of the person that he was when he was in relationship with her, his current Dandy self is having some connection to that. And just warping just frays that little point where you're like, I'm able to be tugging between both of the universes. So
I'm not sure, but
it's a bunch of hoobity ha and
definitely
rumbo jumbo and wibbly wobbly timey wimey. But I think that there's something there in that Dandy throughout this show has been the central disturbance of this energy reading that Gel and
the universe revolves around him and all that.
Right, and why is that? Is it because he is the being that has actually fully transcended dimensions, and she could sense that on some level and went to go and see hey, do I need to be involved in this in some way? Or it's no, he already knew. Maybe
that whole bit with this is a different part of the episode, that whole bit with Dr. Gel and his assistant, where it's there's a crazy space anomaly or whatever. He's like, is this just your new way of saying that it's probably Dandy? God, I love this show.
All the self-awareness that isn't self-awareness, quote unquote, specifically. It's just, it's so good.
Also, Dandy, you, even if it didn't end up going well, it, couldn't last.
Right.
You had something real with a being of a dimension one higher than you.
That's true.
That's impressive.
That is impressive.
Better to have loved and lost than never loved at all.
I guess.
You know?
Yeah.
And if you think about it, because Catherine is a fourth dimensional being, that means she exists outside of time. which means you will always be near her heart.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of true.
Even if it's a different you.
The near part might need some defining, but
right.
But yeah,
but yeah,
right. Or maybe it doesn't, because it would be in a dimension that he wouldn't understand anyway.
Ah, there we go. Yeah. But this is a wacky episode.
This is a really wacky episode, but I love really stupid, ridiculous stuff like this because what it's trying to do is say, hey, guys, there's something beautiful about this show when you get down to the underlying parts of it, where Dandy, as a character, no, he is Dandy. Like, he carries that soul.
He's going to carry that weight?
No, don't go there. He's carrying the soul, actually, of what it means to be existing beyond the dimensions. So everyone going after him is seeking the same thing. So if you want to have the ultimate happy ending for this story, given that there was something sad about this one here, and it tied to the fundamental aspects of, the reality of this wacky world, you could have almost a little bit of an arc, just a little bit of continuity, where Dandy's ultimate purpose or thing about his character that he can do is basically tell all of space, time, and everything about the Dandy way, which would in some ways make them have the ability to maybe perceive, or at the very least transcend, the dimensional limitations of X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
And yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
And the only way they can do that is by being turned into an anime, so that they can be viewed and live and experience things across many different times.
Exactly.
That's how you go to the next.
That's the Dandy way.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
But
y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general, and you can also talk with Jacob about the sci-fi novel that he wrote.
That's right. There's no fourth dimensional beings in Battle Lines. If you want to check it out, though, it's on Amazon. The link is in the description down below.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.